The Varnavat conspiracy. The power of the Pandavas, as well as their popularity among the people of Hastinapur, was increasing with each passing day. Yudhishthir was the crown prince. None of Duryodhan's plot to get rid of the Pandavas had worked. The evil foursome, Duryodhan, Dushasan, Karna and Shakuni, now decided that the Pandavas had to be finished for good. Duryodhan revealed his intentions to his father Dhritarashtra and got his consent to his plot. He summoned his trusted minister Purochan and asked him to construct a grand palace in a town called Varnavat, which was some distance away from Hastinapur. This palace was to have only one door for entry. Purochan implemented his master's order to the letter. A grand palace soon came into being at Varnavat, but it was constructed of lac, wax, wood, oil, ghee, fat and other highly combustible materials. Duryodhan then ordered Purochan to proceed to Varnavat and await the arrival of the Pandavas. He said, "Win the trust of the Pandavas and at the opportune moment set fire to the palace while they are asleep in it." Dhritarashtra suggested that the Pandavas along with their mother Kunti should visit Varnavat for a change of atmosphere. Vidur sensed that another plot was afoot. When the Pandavas set out from Hastinapur, he warned Yudhishthir in coded language to be very careful. Vidur also sent his own spies to Varnavat. The Pandavas reached Varnavat and met all the citizens of the town. One evening, when Kunti and her sons were engaged in a private conversation, an unknown person approached Yudhishthir and said, "Mahatma Vidur has sent me. His suspicions about the plot being hatched by Duryodhan are true. Purochan plans to set fire to this palace after a grand ceremony on the Trayodashi of the month. I am an expert in digging tunnels. I shall dig a secret tunnel in the jungle and connect it to one of your inner rooms in this palace, through which you all must make good your escape. Mahatma Vidur has asked you all to be very alert and vigilant as the time approaches. At the appointed hour, you shall also find a boat waiting for you on the banks of the Ganga." Vidur's agent did his job expertly and at a fast pace. The secret tunnel opened beneath the floor of one of the inner rooms of the palace in such a way that it was not visible. Purochan could not suspect anything. The Pandavas organized a feast 3 days before the Trayodashi. All Varnavat was invited and thousands of citizens arrived at the wax palace to partake in the food being served by Kunti and her sons. As luck would have it, a Shabhar with her 5 sons arrived to have free meals. Not only they stuffed themselves to their stomach's content, but they had also brought their own wine with them, which they gulped down after the feast. The Shabhar woman and her 5 sons had drunk so much that they could not even get up from their seats. They fell unconscious. Purochan too was completely drunk and fast asleep in another room. The sun had now set and it was night. Purochan was snoring aloud. The Pandavas and their mother had to move fast. Kunti, followed by Sahadev, Nakul, Arjun and Yudhishthir, opened the door of the secret tunnel and stepped down. Bhim stayed back. He first set fire to the room where Purochan was asleep. He lit the room from all 4 sides. The mighty son of Vayu then proceeded to set fire to the entire palace, which burst into flames immediately because of the combustible materials. In no time, the palace became a raging inferno. Bhim hurriedly entered the secret tunnel, shut the door firmly and raced away to join the brothers and mother. The Pandavas emerged deep inside the forest. Vidur had arranged for another of his agents to ferry them across the Ganga by a powerful boat. This agent took Kunti and her sons across the river. The Pandavas then went into a much deeper and more dangerous forest. Meanwhile, all of Varnavat suddenly awoke at midnight to see the raging fire. The flames were so huge and spread such tremendous heat that no one could even venture near. The fire raged all night and reduced the Lakshagraha to a heap of ashes. It was only at dawn that the last of the flames slowly died out. The people saw that the fire had destroyed everything. All that remained were 7 burnt bodies. One was Purochan's, and as for the others, people could only identify them as a lady and 5 males. Kunti and her sons were thus assumed to have perished in the fire. Hastinapur reacted as if struck by lightning. Hastinapur loved the Pandavas dearly, and people accused Duryodhan of conspiring to kill his cousins. Dhritarashtra carried out all the traditional rituals for the Pandavas and gave away arms on this occasion. Only Vidur knew the truth, but he too joined in all the rituals and show of grief so as not to arouse anyone's suspicion.